Millions of people walk the streets of this city every day, unaware of what exists directly beneath their feet. Directly below the concrete and the steel, hidden within ancient root systems, a completely different society operates in secret. For 31 years, a luminous creature named LUMA has lived in this underground network. Like the rest of her kind, she emits a natural radiance. But she survives by obeying one non-negotiable rule: she must keep her light extinguished whenever she approaches the surface. This diagram illustrates the survival loop, the governing doctrine created by the underground's elders. The logic is empirical. If a creature allows themselves to be visible, humans react with fear. That fear leads to the creature's destruction. Therefore, invisibility is the only mathematical guarantee of safety. Notice how the diagram changes when that loop runs uninterrupted for decades. The logic works to prevent physical harm. No one is hunted because no one is seen. But that security creates a heavy boundary, locking the hidden ones into a state of total stagnation. Safety protects the body, but it starves the mind. It creates a psychological vacuum where existence is traded for mere survival. LUMA tests the edges of this boundary every evening at golden hour. She visits a park bench on the surface, keeping herself dimmed, folded up, and invisible to the passing human world. This mirrors the human behavior of self-dimming, where individuals suppress their distinct traits or energy to avoid friction in social settings. They camouflage themselves to maintain harmony. LUMA's routine is interrupted when a 10-year-old boy named Marco claims the exact same bench. He drops his backpack, opens a thick sketchbook, and goes to work, unaware of the invisible creature sitting inches away from him. They occupy the same physical space, evening after evening. Yet, sharing proximity without being perceived by the person next to you is a profound form of isolation. Marco senses the world through intuition. He cannot see LUMA, but his hand registers the slight warmth in the air and the displacement of space. He sketches a faint outline of a winged figure on the empty side of the bench. The shock of being noticed triggers a physiological reaction in LUMA. Light pulses under her skin, an involuntary surge she fights to stifle with every muscle. Over the next few weeks, the unspoken dynamic tightens. LUMA moves closer. Marco's sketches grow more confident. The breaking point arrives during a cold rainstorm. Marco, soaked and shivering on the bench, feels a distinct warmth radiating from the empty space beside him. He doesn't panic. He stops drawing, looks straight ahead into the rain, and states calmly that he knows she is there, and he is not afraid, effectively bypassing the primary deterrent of the elders' doctrine. The logic of the survival loop assumes that observation leads to fear. Marco proves that an observer can acknowledge the hidden without initiating the loop's destructive end. Back in her underground room, LUMA's control fails. She paces the floor, her hands glowing with silver and gold light. The friction between her desire to be seen and her terror of the consequences is constant. She confesses the encounter to the elder. His enforcement of the dimming rule is an act of protection, rooted in generational trauma. To explain, he opens an ancient chest. This weathered photograph shows LUMA's ancestor, Sable. Sable chose to live openly. For 3 years, she walked the streets in full light, experiencing genuine human connection. Then, human fear took hold, and she was destroyed. LUMA realizes the elder is not trying to suppress her free will. He is laying out the empirical data, presenting her with the historical cost of courage, so she can decide if the price is one she can pay. The fear of vulnerability is rarely an irrational phobia. It is a logical defense mechanism built on a foundation of valid trauma. Hiding is a reasoned response to history. The following evening at dusk, LUMA returns to the park. The bench is 20 steps away. Marco is already there, waiting. Every step she takes toward him requires crossing a massive physical and emotional threshold. This scale visualizes the mechanics of her choice. The heavy block of fear remains. LUMA acknowledges her terror, but introduces a competing force of intent, reaching a tense equilibrium where fear exists, but no longer dictates her movement. She sits beside the boy and slowly illuminates. Her moth-like wings display shifting colors of silver, cream, and soft green. She drops the camouflage. Marco turns and sees her. He experiences wonder. He picks up his pencil and begins to document her true, radiant form. Luma acts alongside her terror rather than waiting for it to vanish, choosing the possibility of a shared moment over the certainty of a hidden one. The world around them reacts, but the predicted destruction does not arrive. A passing jogger slows down. A dog wags its tail. Life continues, undisturbed. The light filters down through the soil into the underground market. The elder and the hidden creatures pause, staring up at the glowing roots on the ceiling. They feel the shift, experiencing a mix of grief and sudden pride. On the bench, Marco shows Luma the original, ghostly sketch. She reaches out and touches the paper, leaving a single glowing fingerprint on the page. This connection is now physical and complete. When they part ways, Luma does not return to the shadows. She walks home down the exact middle of the street. Her wings cast a warm silver light, claiming her space in the world. The world does not inherently clear a path for you to exist. Sometimes you have to light it up and walk in.